Hey everyone, Michelle here and welcome back to my channel and welcome to my February wrap up. February was a good month for me. I read my TBR and one extra book. So let's get into it. This was my planned TBR for February. Like I just said, I am happy to say I completed these 5 books with my 2 Kindle Unlimited books that I weren't sure what they were, and an extra one. So because there is 8 books in total, let's get into the wrap up. But first, let me talk about the 3 DNFs. DNF wise, these 3 books weren't on my planned TBR, they were just books that I picked up after I completed my TBR, and for the same reasons, for all 3 of them, I just couldn't gel with them. Yeah, the top one, I just think it was the right book for me when I was a teenager, not for me now. This one, I didn't like the mum's attitude to the daughter when she came back, and I didn't like the way the book was set out. And this one, I didn't like the main character. So 3 books off my shelves to be unhauled. I will hopefully go in reading order for this wrap up, but let's see what happens. But starting with the first book I finished, because it was the last book I was still reading at the end of January, Floodmarked by Tracy Deonn. I give this 5 stars. I loved this book, despite the fact it had been over a year since I read the first one. I read the first few pages and I remembered exactly what happened in the first book, and I didn't have to sit there and think, well, who's that character? What happened there? Why are they saying this? I remembered it all. It had great flow to the story like the first one did. I loved the character development in this book. I loved Bree feeling more and more comfortable with herself and her family's history, and I loved the development of the side characters as well. I didn't like the ending, not gonna lie, but I understand why we had the ending we had. Yeah, just a great sequel, and I believe this is part of a series. Book 3 hasn't been announced yet, however I am very excited for when that is, because it will be pre-ordered and read, and I won't be waiting over a year to read the sequel when it comes out. Book number 2 is The Ex-Hex by Erin Sterling. I give this book 3 stars. The romance, meh. It went the way I thought it was. I didn't like the fact that this was kind of being sold a little bit like enemies to lovers. They were never really enemies in my eyes, but yeah, it was okay. The curse part of this story, why was it only fixed in the last 30 pages? It honestly felt like the conclusion literally came out of nowhere. There was no hints really that the big reveal was going to be the big reveal. So yeah, 3 stars is a weak 3 stars. I am intrigued with the sequel just because of the 2 characters, but it's not a sequel I want to pick up anytime soon. Book number 3 was Love on the Brain by Ali Hazelwood, 5 stars. I'll keep this short and sweet. Love the stories, love the characters, love the flow, love the enemy, love the twist, loved it all. This book has actually made Ali an automatic buy for me. Continuing on with the Ali love, book number 4 was Loath to Love You by Ali Hazelwood, 3 short stories. I gave this book 4 stars. Thoroughly enjoyed the short stories. Again, obvious what's going to kind of happen, but with short stories, it doesn't surprise me. Under One Roof was definitely my favourite, and I loved the POV extra bonus chapter at the end, which was from the male's POV. I would love more of that in future, but yeah, 4 stars. And on the last of my physical TBR this month, I read The Guest House by Robin Morgan Bentley, 3 stars. An enjoyable plot. It did take me a while to get used to the going to the past, to the present, to the past, to the present. Our main characters are 2 good ones, I'll say. Meh, they felt flat. The reason for this kicking off it was just a little bit silly that that wouldn't have been mentioned originally, but you know. I actually felt more for the bad guys because I could see why they did what they did. Yeah, didn't put me off Robin, just not the best book to read from them, I'll say. And then on to the Kindle Unlimited books suggested to me by my colleagues Becky and Angelina. For Becky, I read Royal Savage, 5 stars. I loved the plot, I loved the characters, I loved the development of everything, the flow, the male characters, the spicy scenes, chef's kiss. Definitely dark, twisted and emotional. Fits very much in theme with Becky. And for Jelina's pick, I read Blindside, again at 5 stars. I felt every emotion reading this book. I smiled, I teared up, I laughed, I had my heart broken. I loved the characters, I loved the story, I loved the flow. Book number 2 in a series, and I will definitely be reading book 1 because it's about 2 characters that I love from Blindside and the other 2. And for Royal Savage, I will be carrying on with the sequel, just again, not anytime soon. And for the last book I read in February, that is The Golden Enclave by Naomi Novik. 4 stars, which was very much a surprise because I gave the other 2 week 3 stars. I never thought I would ever say that I enjoyed the last book in the trilogy more than the first 2, but it happened. I loved the story development, I loved the character development. I felt this story was action paced without being too action paced, and it flowed so well. A good ending to this trilogy, I will definitely say that, a very good ending. I didn't see that development coming, but it was a good, I didn't see it coming, if that made sense. Has it changed my mind of Naomi because I haven't really liked some of her other work? No, I think she'll just be one of those authors where I take it a book at a time. So there you have my books I read in February along with my 2 Kindle books. Have you read any of these books? Do you have similar thoughts? Are there any different thoughts that you have? Are there any books that you've read that think, oh Michelle, you like this book, you may like this book? Please let me know down below. Always open to suggestions and hearing other people's thoughts. If you like this video, please give it a like. If you are new to my channel and you haven't subscribed yet, let me introduce myself. Hi, my name is Michelle and my life and my reading are chaotic messes. If you don't want to subscribe, not an issue, but if you would like to, great. But until the next video, bye.